This year, Haines City High School became a home to many new teachers, but one special teacher's legacy will live on despite her absence.
Roberta Nabel Wagman was born on November 13, 1956 in Winter Haven, Florida. Robin was a lifelong resident of this community. Over the course of her career at Haines City High School, in addition to teaching PE classes, she volunteered to coach the girls' track and field team and the girls' volleyball team. As the track coach, she led the girls to 10 consecutive county and district championships and 14 overall. As a volleyball coach, she led the girls to a three-peat in district championships and winning 4 overall in that sport. Beyond her coaching expertise, she developed a bond with her students. She had been instrumental in several of their lives by encouraging them to apply for college and going the step further in assisting them to receive full-ride scholarships. In spite of battling cancer for 6 years, she attended every game, every function, and worked every day that she wasn't in treatment. She would routinely leave the chemo lab in Orlando to jet back to whatever location the volleyball game was being played. She was dedicated to her students, her family, and her community. Unfortunately, Coach Wagman lost her battle to cancer on February 27, 2011, and Haines City High School will never be the same.
This story might sound sad and depressing now, but through all of her trials and tribulations, many people have truly been touched by her determination and will to not stop fighting. We sat down with Coach Wagman's friends and former players to understand the impact that she had on their lives.
I started off being a player for in volleyball, and then she talked me into doing track, which I didn't want to do, but I mean, I just enjoyed it just being around her. So kind of like she became my second mom or an older sister here at the school. So she really taught me a lot of things and instilled some values into me as a coach.
The biggest thing that she taught us as a coach was to go as hard as possible. 150%. She was like, you got to get it, girls. You got to do it. And it was always as a team.
She was just an outstanding motivator and coach, and I just really appreciated like how much Hornet spirit she had.
It was never just one person. It was, we need to do this. We, together. All of us need to push as hard as we can. And she taught us that, you know, true teamwork was how you got something accomplished.
Miss Wagman was always a close family friend, and her and my mom actually have the same birthday, and every year they would exchange birthday presents, and I always thought that was really cool how my mom and her always had close birthdays, and she just always inspired me to do better in life and not expect anything less. And she was such a strong person, and I looked up to her. She was like a second mom to me, and I think that's how most of the community looked at her.
As you can see, Robin Wagman was not only an inspiration to her family and friends, but to her players as well. I got the opportunity to sit down with Jessica Wilson, a former player of Coach Wagman, to understand the impact that she had on all of her players.
Coach Wagman's life and Coach Wagman in general have really impacted my life. It started off with just the love for a sport. She really created like my love for volleyball. I had interest in middle school, but when I got to high school, I really started loving the sport. And then as I got to know her better as a coach and as a person, just her willpower and her strength, it impacts your life so much. It just makes you a stronger person. It makes you want to be better. It makes you want to help people. It's amazing how much her life impacted mine and many other people.
Coach Wagman's achievements on the court are vast. Former assistant coach of 17 years, Mel Gables, shares with us her achievements.
Besides mentoring hundreds of students and having all these athletes go to college, her teams were very successful, specifically her track team when she first started coaching. There were 13 or 14 district championships, 10 of them in a row, because I was part of the 10-year streak that we had going on. Every year that she coached track, she had a state qualifier every single year, and she coached track 22 years. She also coached several state champions, and Arthur Blake, an Olympian, was also part of that. So, I mean, she really established a track legacy. She's won 4 district championships in volleyball, 3 in a row, I mean, which is almost heard of. And we went for 3 years being undefeated in the district with a 36-0 record. She was one of the first women to be named to the to the Florida Athletic Coaching Association Hall of Fame. So she really has touched a lot of people through athletics.
My senior year, when we found out that she was diagnosed with cancer, and it was a big blow to us because her spirit never changed. It was kind of just like it was words being spoken. You didn't see any difference in her attitude. As a coach, I have no idea how she did that. I've only coached 1 year, and I can say that it has a lot of stress that comes with it. And there's a lot of things that a lot of people in the community don't see that you do. A lot of things that you spend extra hours doing. And I'm young and healthy, and it was a struggle for me. And so for her to do that for an extra 5 years with cancer is remarkable.
Wags was amazing. I mean, cancer, obviously, it's something that's very ugly, and I think it was so important for her. You know, if she was late to practice because she was at chemo, she would still come in, and it was amazing to me. I mean, Coach Lumens and I would try to tell her, and Coach Hurley, stay home today. Don't worry about coming to practice. We've got it. You know, we don't have a game for a couple days, and it was important for her to be there. And that's another thing, her fortitude on being there for the girls and being there, and you know, and she lived and breathed Kelly Green and White. She was a Hornet, you know, and I think that was important. So for her to be able to manage that, it was just her fighting spirit. And they were days, you know, obviously days that were worse than others, but for her, I think it was important part of her to be a part of something that she really believed in, which is, you know, being here at the high school, because I never met anyone that promoted this school as much as Coach Wagman does. You know, I mean, I try to carry on that legacy, but those are really big shoes to fill.
Robin Wagman was a local icon to many young women in the Polk County area. This strong-willed woman motivated all those around her to be the best that they could be, and we should all strive to keep her legacy alive. I'm Tori Thomas reporting for H&N News.
We love you,